Hi students, in 5th semester BSc program we have two mathematics papers. So first one is it is a compulsory paper. So this paper contains solutions of higher order differential equations, Laplace transformations and ring theory. So is another we are offering another elective paper that is a numeric analysis. So this paper contains solutions of algebraic and transcendental equations, solutions of system of equations, finite differences, numerical differentiation and integrations, and last one numerical solutions of ordinary differential equations. Now I am going to discuss the solutions of higher order linear differential equations. So this chapter includes in the first paper. In the first paper we have 5 units. So first unit contains solutions of higher order differential equation. Second unit also includes the same continuation of solutions of higher order differential equations. Third unit is Laplace transformation. Fourth and fifth units are the ring theory. Now let us move to the solutions of higher order linear differential equations. So before moving to this chapter, in the previous semester we studied solutions of first order differential equation by using the separation of variable method, homogeneous equations, linear equations, nonlinear equations, Bernoulli's equation, exact equations, reducible to exact equations. There are so many methods to solve the solutions of the first order linear and nonlinear differential equations. Let us move to solutions of second order and higher order ordinary differential equations. Suppose if the equation is linear differential equation, degree of the let us move to the basic theory of linear differential equation. The general linear ordinary differential equation of order n is of the form a naught of x into dny dx power n plus a1 of x into dn minus 1 y by dx to the power of n minus 1 and so on plus an x into y is equal to r of x. It is a nth order linear ordinary differential equation. So where n is this n represents the order of differential equation. So this is the nth order linear ordinary differential equation. So how do we say it is a linear differential equation? We can observe in this equation degree of the dependent variable is always 1. You can observe here. If the equation is linear, degree of the dependent variable is same. And second condition, dependent variable. What is dependent variable? Y is the dependent variable, and what is derivative of y? Maybe d by dx, d square y by dx square. So these are the derivative of y. So first condition of the linear equation is degree of the dependent variable is same. It means 1. And second condition of linearity, dependent variable and its derivative should not multiply together. So such equations are called linear differential equation. So you can observe equation 1.1 is a linear differential equation because degree of dependent variable is 1 and dependent variable and its derivative are not multiplied together. But here a naught of x and this derivative is multiplied. But a naught of x is a independent variable. But here if it is nonlinear equation, so y and derivatives are multiplied. But here there is no such terms are there. Therefore, this equation is called linear differential equation. But let us know what is a naught. Where a naught, a1, etc., an minus 1 and an are the continuous real functions and r of x is a function of x. It may be a constant or function of x provided a naught of x is not equal to 0. If a naught of x equal to 0, so order of differential equation reduced to what? N minus 1th order. Therefore a naught never be 0. Maybe a1 0, maybe a2 0, maybe n minus 1 0, maybe n 0, but a naught should not be 0. So the 1.1 equation 1.1 can be written as a naught of x into capital D power n plus a1 of x into capital D power n minus 1 etc. n of x into y is equal to r of x, where capital D is equal to d by dx. It means 1.1 can be written as d by dx is capital D power n as it is written, but y have taken common here outside. Okay, similarly a1 of x are written, so d by dx are written, power n minus 1 are written, so y is common again, like this. So you can write another way, 1.1 can be written as in this form. Okay, so this implies L of d or simply L of y is equal to r of x, where L of d or L is equal to this, L is equal to a naught of x into d power n plus a1 of x into dn minus 1 etc. a n of x is called a linear differential operator. How do you say it is linear differential operator? You know the condition of linearity. Linearity means, let us know what exactly the linearity. Linearity means, for example, but how do you say linear differential operator? For example, d of x plus y can be written as d of x plus d of y. And second condition, d of c into x, c is constant, so this can be written as c into what? D of x. So these are the conditions of linearity. Therefore, operator D is a linear differential operator. Yes, therefore here you can observe, suppose d by dx of x plus y, definitely we can write d of x plus d of y. We can separate it and we can differentiate. So therefore, this L is called satisfied these two conditions. Therefore, this is called linear differential operator. This operator, differential operator, is it towards the linearity condition. Therefore, so this L is called linear differential operator. Now let us move to definition. Now go to equation 1.1. You take r of x equal to 0. If I assume that r of x is a function of x only, there is no y term. Here y is dependent variable, x is independent variable, you should know. If r of x equal to 0, equation 1.1 reduced to LHS same. LHS of 1.1 is same, which are written here, but RHS I made it 0. RHS I made what? 0. So this equation is called as 1.2. So this is called homogeneous equations. So when do you say homogeneous equation? If r of x is 0 in equation 1.1, so this equation is called LHS with 0. This equation is called homogeneous equation. If r of x equal to 0, equation 1.1 is called the homogeneous equation. If r of x is not equal to 0, then the equation 1.1 is said to be non-homogeneous equation. There are two ways to define the equation. So homogeneous equation means there is no function of x in RHS. Such equation is called homogeneous equation. Otherwise, that equation is called non-homogeneous equations. Let us move to next definition now. If all the coefficients a0, a1, anx of the equation 1.1, what is equation 1.1 here? So this is the equation 1.1. This is equation 1.1. In this equation contains a0, a1, etc. an of the equation 1.1 are constant. If there are constant, I told that they are constant, maybe the variable is a function of x. So in the case of constant, so then that equation is called linear. Then that equation is called linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Otherwise, suppose if a0, a1, etc. an are function of x, or not, if they are not constant, so that equation is a differential equation with variable coefficient. There are two types of equations in ordinary differential equation: linear differential equations with constant coefficients, where a naught, a1, an are the constants. That equation is called linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Otherwise, so that equation is called, equation 1.1 is called differential equation with variable coefficients. Let us take example. The equation x into d square y by dx square plus 3x cube into dy by dx plus 2xy is equal to sin x is a non-homogeneous linear differential equation of second order with variable coefficients. How do we say variable coefficient? This is a naught, a1, a2. So these are the function of x. So these are the variable coefficient. So this equation is called, it is the equation with variable coefficient. But I specified it is a non-homogeneous equation because in RHS we have function of x, we have function sin x. So if it is 0, so this equation becomes homogeneous equations if it is 0. But sin x is not 0 here, so this equation is called a non-homogeneous linear differential equation of second order with variable coefficients. And more, it is a linear equation because degree of dependent variable is 1 and y and its derivative should not multiply together. Maybe for x is multiplied with the second order derivative, 3x cube multiplied with dy by dx, it may happen, but y should not multiply with the derivatives. If it is multiplied, it is a non-linear equation. For example, let me take y into d square y by dx square plus y square is equal to sin x. It is not a linear equation because y and its derivative, what is derivative of y? D square by dx square are multiplied together. Again, it is a non-linear term. It is not a linear equation. And more, we can observe degree of y is 1, here 1, but here 2 is there. So both the conditions are failed for linearity, therefore it is a non-linear differential equation. But we don't see solution for this equation right now. We will see only solutions of linear differential equations. Okay, fine. And I hope understood what is linear equation and non-linear equation. Let us move to second example. The equation d cube y by dx cube plus 3 into dy by dx plus 2y is equal to cos x is again, it is a non-homogeneous term. Sin x is the cos x there, non-homogeneous equation, and more linear equations of third order with what? Constant coefficients, because here 1, here 3, here 2. Differential equations with constant coefficient is there. So this equation is called linear differential equation with constant coefficient. It is a non-homogeneous equations. Let me take one example for the homogeneous equation. For example, d square y by dx square plus y is equal to 0. It is a second order homogeneous linear ordinary differential equation. Okay, so this is the example for the homogeneous equations. Now let us move to the corollary. Any linear combination of a solution of homogeneous linear differential equation 1.2 is also a solution. Oh, but let us see what exactly the linear combination. Yes. Let us define the theorem here. Superposition principle of homogeneous equation. If y1, y2, etc., yk be solutions of homogeneous nth order differential equation 1.2. You know what is 1.2? Equation 1.2 is the, in equation 1.1 we have RHS 0. So this is the equation 1.2. So this is the equation 1.2. So this is a homogeneous equation. Why homogeneous equation? There is no RHS function of x. So it is a homogeneous equation. I am talking about solutions of homogeneous equations. Now let us move to theorem 1.1, superposition principle homogeneous equation. If y1, y2, etc., yk be solutions of homogeneous equation of order n, that is equation 1.2, and c1, c2, ck are the constants, then y is equal to c1 into y1 plus c2 into y2, etc., plus ck into yk is also a solution of the homogeneous equation 1.2. It means y1 is also a solution of homogeneous equation, y2 is also a solution of homogeneous equation independently, etc., yk is also a solution of homogeneous equation, and linear combination. What is linear combination? c1 y1 plus c2 y2, etc., ck yk. It is a linear combination of the functions y1 y2 yk is also a solution of homogeneous equation 1.2. Yes, let us move to corollary now. Any linear combination of solution of homogeneous linear differential equation 1.2 is also a solution. It is a corollary of 1.1. Now let us move to what exactly the linear dependence and linear independence. We don't concentrate more on that. Let us see what exactly linearly independent and linearly dependent. Let us see now. We say that the functions f1, f2, fn are linearly dependent on particular interval ab if there exist constants c1, c2, etc., cn not all 0 such that c1 into f1 of x linear combination written c1 into f1 of x plus c2 into f2 of x and so on plus cn into f1 of x is equal to 0 for all x ab. In this case, if any one of the constant is not 0 while solving the equation, then we can write the functions f1, f2 and fn are the linearly dependent on the particular interval ab. Suppose if no such relation exists, then the functions f1, f2, etc., fn are said to be linearly independent. Otherwise, or equivalently, we can write c1, f1, etc., cn, fn is 0. This implies all the constants are zeros. If that is the case, if all the constants are 0, we can write so these functions are linearly independent functions. Let me take one example better, easily you can understand here. Otherwise, we can define another way to define the whether the functions are linearly dependent or independent. Let me write here. Better, this is the good definition to define the functions are linearly independent or not. Let y1 of x, y1 means f1, I can write y2 of x, etc., y1 of x be n differentiable functions and possess at least n minus 1 derivatives. So these functions at least how many times derivative should exist? N minus 1 times derivative should exist. Then the determinant, that is called W, is called Ranskin. W of y1, y2, yn is a determinant of what is the function n function y1, y2, yn, and y1 dash derivative of y1, derivative of y2, y2 dash, yn dash is derivative of yn, etc., this is yn to the power of n minus 1. So this is the n minus 1 to derivative of y1. Similarly, one can write this is the n minus 1 to derivative of yn. It means, so these functions y1, y2, yn are how many times differentiable? At least n minus 1 times. Then only we can define this definition. Is called the Ranskin of the functions y1, y2, yn. Yes, I define the Ranskin. Ranskin of, suppose Ranskin of only two functions, how we can define? W of y1 comma y2 is equal to determinant of what? y1, y2, y1 dash, y2 dash. So these functions, how many times at least differentiable? Once enough. If there are three functions, how many times differentiable? At least twice enough. If I consider n function, so these functions should be differentiable at least n minus 1 times. Then only you can define the Wronskian of the functions. It is, let us move to next definition. It is easy to show that if Wronskian of y1, y2, yn is not equal to 0. What is Wronskian? Determinant. If the determinant is not equal to 0 on particular interval AB, then y1, y2, yn are said to be linearly independent on the particular interval AB. So no need to verify. So this definition, just let us forget this definition now. This definition, what this definition say that linear combination is 0 if suppose if f1, f2, fn are linearly independent. What it shows, this implies c1 all the constants must be 0. So instead of checking in this way, let us verify with these conditions. Okay, let me take one example. How do you say functions are linearly independent through Wronskian? Let us take, let y1 is equal to, let me take sin x, and y2 is equal to cos x. Let me define the Wronskian of two functions. y1 comma y2 is equal to determinant of y1, y2, y1 dash, y2 dash. So what is y1? Sin x. y2 have taken cos x. What is y1 dash? Sin x differentiation cos x. Cos x differentiation minus sin x. Sin x into minus sin x minus sin square x minus of cos square x, that is equal to minus 1. Minus is not equal to 0. Take for any interval, for all real number, you can take any real number, minus of sin square plus cos square x, that is equal to minus 1 is not equal to 0. If we take any real number, therefore sin x and cos x are the linearly independent functions. Linearly independent. So let us take one example for the linearly dependent functions. For example, let me take x plus y is equal to 0. X plus y is equal to 0. We have only one equation, but two unknowns are there. So what we can write, if you assign x is equal to 0, we get y is 0. Otherwise y, if x is free variable, y depends on x or x depends on y. So such functions are called linearly dependent functions. Variables here, x and y are linearly dependent variables. It means so for linearly dependent, if any one of the condition c1, if any one of the constant is not 0, then we can write, so these functions are called